Hello, hi, it's Jess. I am a children's book illustrator and today I'm going to be taking you along for a day in the life. So I woke up super early this morning, although I did spend the first hour or so drinking coffee in bed, which was lovely. And it's about 5:30 a.m. here and I'm currently having my morning electrolytes and my vitamins. I've mentioned before that I'm pretty rubbish at getting myself to eat breakfast, so for the last few months I've been having a protein smoothie, which is literally just a banana, a scoop of protein powder and some milk. It takes about 2 minutes and that means I'm at least getting something into myself so I don't crash by 11 a.m. A new habit I'm trying to form, or bring back should I say, is reading for 15 minutes every morning. I've mentioned before that I am a serial hurrier and this year I want to work on slowing down a bit, and this doesn't necessarily mean doing less, it just means being more mindful and intentional. I actually think slowing down can make you more productive because when you are rushing all the time, you miss things, you make mistakes, which ultimately creates more work in the long run. So yes, 15 minutes of reading every morning I'm hoping will give a signal to my brain that we are not being chased by a lion and it's okay to take things a little more slowly. So I am 50 pages into Hamlet and I am absolutely loving it so far. You know, sometimes when you start reading a book and you're just like, yes, I know this is going to be good. I love her writing style. It's quite lyrical without being decorative, and it's quite fragmented in that you're kind of skipping timelines and it's a little bit confusing and she's holding things back and there goes the boiler. Yeah, I know it will all make sense and I will get that satisfying moment at some point where everything just clicks together, but yeah, I love it. This is my favourite kind of book, so really excited to delve into it further. Next, I tidy up the living room from the night before. Tell me you live with a personal trainer without telling me you live with a personal trainer. I really wish I was the sort of person to do this before going to bed. I have tried, but sadly I am not. I am, however, of the opinion that a tidy home equals a tidy mind, so I do make sure to give the house a mini reset before starting work, otherwise I really struggle to concentrate. I then head up to my studio as I had some contracts to read through and sign and a couple of emails to reply to. So it is only 6 a.m. and I wouldn't normally start work this early. However, I need to pop out this morning to pick up some bits and I just wanted to get all of my admin out the way. Even though I don't like doing admin, I do try to romanticize it as best I can. So I've lit my candle and I'm going to put on some classical music and we're just going to get it done. So I am actually waving at Jack, who has just returned from his first client. Jack starts work even earlier than me, if you can imagine. Thankfully we are both early birds, so this way of living suits us quite well, but it does mean we have to go to bed ridiculously early. I really love this time of day. We live in a residential area, so once it gets to around 8 in the morning, you start to hear cars, doors opening and closing, the usual sounds of everyday life, but at this hour it's so quiet and so still. There's something really peaceful about being awake before the sun. Alright, it is 9 a.m. Jack and I are about to go out, oh, bad neck, about to go out on a little adventure. We're going to HomeSense first because I'm in need of a new notebook. I need to start my brand new 2026 bullet journal. And then we're driving to this lady's house to pick up a doll's house, which I found on Facebook Marketplace. I've wanted a doll's house for years. I want it as like just a fun little hobby side project, and this one is beautiful. And I might even get started on painting the exterior today, maybe? We'll see. I do have some work to do as well. Doll's house secured. There's a little sneaky peek. We're gonna pop into Hobbycraft now and get a little paintbrush. They're part of Doll's House project, and going to HomeSense because I need a new notebook. or two. You're gonna get a new notebook.
I have no use for a new notebook.
Jack has this notebook. Hate it so much. It's a Simpsons notebook. It's bright yellow. It's massive. It's so ugly.
It's great. I barely ever use it.
Let's get you a nice aesthetically pleasing brown one. That's actually so funny. Eat something's green. What you doing, Puss Puss? What you doing? Hey! Come on, let's be friends. Oh, doesn't want to be my friend. What are you doing? Right, I am home and it was a successful journey. I picked up 2 brand new notebooks. So I always get my notebooks from HomeSense, and HomeSense it's like an outlet store, so you're never really sure what stock they're gonna have, but they have been stocking this brand of notebook for years, and I managed to get the same one that I got a few months ago. So they match, which makes me very happy. It's this one's a William Morris print, which I love, but for anyone interested, the brand is called Fringe. But I like them just because they're just a perfect size for me. They're just simple lined pages. And my method of journaling, I guess, I don't journal in the sense that, you know, where it's not like reflective journaling, it's more like planning. I love the idea of reflective journaling. I've just never been able to stick at it really, but never say never. I use the bullet journal method, as in the original bullet journal method. What's the guy's name? I bought a book years ago. So the guy who invented this system, he wrote a book about it and it was really good. Oh, Ryder Carroll, highly recommend his book, The Bullet Journal Method. But it's not, so if you were to like type in bullet journal on Pinterest, you'd see lots of scrapbooky, battery died. What was I saying? Yeah, I use a very utilitarian approach to journaling. As much as I love the scrapbook style designs people come up with, I think they look so nice, I purely want this for planning and so I don't forget things. And the reason I like doing this is because you can tailor it specifically to your life, to your needs, whereas if you buy a diary planner that already is set out for you, there's always restrictions, there's always bits that are a bit annoying and that you wish you could change, with the exception being Ruby Granger's academic planner, which I used when I was studying and highly recommend that. For my everyday life, I prefer the bullet journal method, hands down. And for those who don't know, it's basically a system where you, I don't know how to explain it. In fact, I'll do it, I'll set it out, and then we'll voice over it. Okay, for those who don't know, I will try my best to explain it simply and succinctly, but the bullet journal method is essentially a very simple system for keeping everything in one notebook. Instead of separating planners, to-do lists and notes, everything lives together and the structure helps you to find things again later. At the front of the notebook, you create an index page, and this is essentially just a contents page where you note down what's on each page as you go along. Then after that, you create your future log, which is a few pages that map out the coming months ahead. Things you know that are coming up, but you don't need to think about just yet, almost like a calendar. After that comes the monthly log, and this is a simple snapshot of the month. Key dates, intentions, a short list of things you'd like to focus on, and any appointments you might have, etc. Deadlines. Then you have your daily logs, which are just running to-do lists and notes written in short bullet points as things come up. One of the things that makes the system work is numbering every page, and this is the thing I love most about it. Each time you create something new, you add the page number to the index so that you can find it again later, because my problem with using notebooks in the past is that they just turn into a jumbled mess and I wouldn't be able to find anything. So for example, if you were to start a TBR list and it lives on page 24, you just write TBR 24 in the index. And if that list grows and you run out of space, you don't need to rewrite it or keep like save pages for in case it's going to be longer. You can just continue it on another page later on, say page 47. You number it, add it to the index next to TBR24, and it all still links back together. It does sound a little bit complicated and structured, but it's actually so flexible, and once you kind of get your head around it, it's amazingly helpful. You're not filling pages in order or trying to make things perfect. You're just giving yourself a way to keep track of your thoughts without overthinking it. I have been using this method for years. I'll admit I don't do it consistently, but I find that when I do, I'm so much more organized, so much more on top of things, and just feel generally calmer. So I highly recommend it. And of course, if you did want to create these beautiful scrapbook pages like you do see on Pinterest, you absolutely can, but using this system is honestly a lifesaver. I will say there is a lot more to it, or at least there can be a lot more to it than what I've just explained there. So if you are interested, I recommend either going on Carol Ryder's website or getting the book, because it explains it a lot better than I ever could. I hope that was helpful for at least one of you. I do highly recommend. Okay, it is now 3 p.m. and I am officially done with work for the day, so I'm going to show you my beautiful new doll's house. Here she is. Isn't it glorious? I found this on Facebook Marketplace for £40. We had a little accident during our travels. The door fell off. But it's a fixer-upper. We did also lose a window, but it can be stuck back on. But yeah, I am in love with it. This table is a temporary situation too. I'm going to be on the lookout for something for it to stand on. But let's give you a house tour. Ooh. Here we are. So sadly we can't get in the roof. I know a lot of dolls' houses you can lift the roof up. There's no secret roof room. I mean, I'm actually loving this flooring. Not so keen on the other floor. There looks like someone's put lights in. They don't work currently, but I will be reinstating those lights and getting some nice little chandeliers. Oh, I'm so excited. I did look under this floor earlier. You know, when people buy houses and they look under their carpets to see if they've got old floorboards. Same thing. We have a parquet floor. Although unfortunately it has been painted on. But that's okay. I can draw my own floor and print it, or make a floor. I've seen people make this kind of flooring out of like, what are they called? Like lolly sticks, popsicle sticks in the US. Oh, Steve's here. Oh, hello. I don't think you guys have seen Steve for a while. He's doing good. Aren't you, Stevie boy? Oh, I love it so much. As beautiful as it is in this colour palette, I have a vision. I'm going to paint the entire thing a sort of off-white creamy colour, and then I am going to go over the beams with, with this browning wax. Is that focusing? So I use this on our banister on the stairs, and essentially you can use this on a painted surface and it makes it look like wood. It's magical. I saw Stacey Solomon did it years ago and decided to do it on our stairs, in fact. So these were just painted white before, and now it looks like wood. It's amazing. It's amazing. It would have taken so long to strip that back to the bare wood, especially on the, what are these called? Spindles? So yes, I'm going to attempt to do exactly the same thing on the beams, which is why I needed a little brush from Hobbycraft, which I think will do perfectly. I'll see how far we get today. I mean, I'll probably only get the base coat done today because it's going to need time to dry overnight, but I can probably do the beams in the morning, which I'm very excited for. Yeah, it's going to look a bit weird when obviously I paint the whole thing cream, but just trust in the vision. And I think the roof tiles as well, I'll probably repaint brown. And then once we've got the exterior sorted, I'll then move on to the interior. I'm probably going to change the door colour as well. Not sure what to. In fact, I'll probably change it seasonally. So maybe I'll go for like a sage green for spring, and then orange in autumn, back to red for Christmas. I'm just so excited. It's the little things, quite literally little things here. Okay, so I've given it a clean. I've taped up the windows that haven't broken. I'll just stick these back on after. I did consider just taking all the windows out, which maybe I should have done, but it's fine. It's fine. So I have been listening to this podcast called Legacy, and it is so good, I'm obsessed. It's basically, in each episode, or they do like mini series of episodes about extraordinary people in history and talk about their lives, what made them extraordinary, whether they live up to their name and their reputation. I've so far listened to the series on Jane Austen, Joan of Arc, and I'm now listening to Alan Turing, and I'm loving it. It's so, so good. Highly recommend it. Got my paint. I'm using chalky furniture paint in, what is that? Clotted cream, and a random brush that I found. I think it's my dad's. It is approximately 3 hours later. As you can see, it is now dark. We've got the first coat on, and it's, to be honest, it looks better in the viewfinder than it does in real life. Definitely needs a second coat. I'm really eager to get the beams done tomorrow, so I'm going to get Jack to carry this down in a bit so that I can do the second coat before we go to bed, and then that means I can get the beams sorted tomorrow, which is exciting. So I have had a bath. It was glorious. I read a bit more of Hamnet, which is very nice. Jack and I are going to make dinner now. We're having steak with tagliatelle mushroom pasta, and then we are going to watch, well, I'm probably going to watch while Jack doom scrolls, the new Downton Abbey film, which I'm very excited about. You excited? Yum, 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 yum. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, sir. What are you doing? Are you okay? Good morning. It was supposed to just be a day in the life video, but I couldn't leave it without doing these beams because that would just be so annoying. So yeah, it's the next day. This is suitably dried. I did a second coat and it's looking much better. And yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and attempt to apply the browning wax to all of the beams and we'll see what it looks like. I was debating masking between all of the things to protect the paint, but that would take so long, so I'm just going to have a steady hand. See how we go. Can always paint over any messy bits afterwards if need be. Yeah, I'm excited to see how it looks.
Relationship and time when Françoise is about to have a definitive breakup will cause so much damage to their reputation because
I'm so happy with how it's going. As with most projects that I take on, it's taking a lot longer than anticipated, which I really should have anticipated, but that's okay because I am in no hurry to finish this. I really want to enjoy the process, which I am. You know, being a creative person, I think it's important to have other creative outlets besides illustration, for me anyway, because illustration is, after all, my job. As much as I love it, it is work, so it is nice to have other projects that are not illustration, so I can still get that fulfillment without feeling like I'm working all the time. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm excited to move on to the next part of the project. I will say, painting these beams, they were so fiddly, and it's not the neatest. I definitely need to go back in and tidy things up a little bit. I have yet to do the beams on the side and the back. I'm thinking I might have to paint the windows because the white, like now I've painted the base of the house like that creamy colour. The windows look a bit too bright and glaring. I need to do the roof, which I think is going to look really cool when I paint that. I need to do the front door. Yeah, there's like so many little things to do, and I'm really looking forward to it. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you are new here, I would love it so much if you could subscribe. It means a lot. Next week, I'm going to be diving back into my Cozy Reader illustration series. Hopefully won't be losing any more artwork this time, but I've got so many ideas for it, and very much looking forward to that. And all that's left to say is I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!